In a terrifying twist of fate, the world's largest and most powerful aircraft carrier has been struck by a deadly storm. The ship designed to withstand enemy attacks is now facing the brutal wrath of nature. Will this colossal vessel survive the storm of the century, or has its sheer size become its downfall? In a world where naval supremacy determines global power, the unveiling of the U.S. Navy's latest technological marvel has left military experts and nations alike in awe. The largest and most advanced warship ever constructed has not only redefined the limits of maritime warfare, but also proved its resilience against a deadly storm that nearly brought it to its knees. Equipped with cutting-edge AI systems, laser defense technology, and an arsenal of advanced fighter jets, this floating fortress was hit by an unprecedented superstorm that threatened to capsize it. Yet, in a twist that stunned the world, the ship's high-tech defenses and skilled crew managed to navigate through nature's fury. Was this near catastrophe a warning of future challenges, or just a glimpse of the carrier's unstoppable power? As questions arise, the U.S. Navy's response remains: nothing will stand in the way of its global dominance. In a shocking turn of events, the world's largest aircraft carrier, once thought to be invincible, found itself at the mercy of a catastrophic storm that left the military world reeling. This $13 billion supercarrier, armed with futuristic weaponry and hailed as the pinnacle of naval engineering, faced its greatest threat not from enemy forces, but from the sheer wrath of Mother Nature. Battling waves as tall as skyscrapers and winds stronger than a hurricane, the carrier's advanced stabilization systems were pushed to the absolute limit. As global onlookers held their breath, the ship emerged battered but unbeaten, proving the power and ingenuity of the U.S. Navy's most formidable asset. But the question remains: if nature can strike with such force, what's next for this technological titan on the high seas? Join us as we dive deep into this shocking event, exploring the magnitude of the storm, the heroic efforts of the crew, and the incredible technology behind this floating fortress. This is the story of survival in the face of nature's fury. At over 1,000 feet long, carrying a fleet of fighter jets, helicopters, and thousands of sailors, the world's largest aircraft carrier is nothing short of a modern marvel. It's a symbol of technological advancement and military might. But what happens when this behemoth of engineering meets one of the most violent storms the ocean has ever seen? Let's first explore the incredible design of this aircraft carrier. Built to withstand the most hostile of environments and even potential attacks, the airline is equipped with the latest military and maritime technology. With its massive size, reinforced hull, and the ability to carry up to 90 aircraft, it's a true fortress of the sea. But size alone doesn't make a ship invincible. While this carrier is built to face down enemy forces, Mother Nature is an unpredictable opponent. What happens when the very ocean it sails on becomes its greatest threat? The storm, a once-in-a-century event, formed unexpectedly in the open ocean. Fueled by warm waters and strong winds, it quickly grew into a monster, sending waves as high as 40 feet crashing across the seas. The aircraft carrier, which had been on routine patrol, found itself directly in the path of destruction. Despite being warned of the approaching storm, there was little time to change course. The carrier, along with its crew of over 5,000 sailors and airmen, had to brace for the worst. With winds reaching over 100 miles per hour and waves threatening to overwhelm even this massive ship, the crew had to rely on their training, experience, and the ship's advanced systems to survive. In the face of this deadly storm, the carrier's crew activated emergency procedures. Every piece of equipment on deck was secured, and the flight operations were suspended. Jets and helicopters were locked down, and non-essential personnel were ordered below deck. While the ship itself is an engineering marvel, it's the crew that makes it a living, breathing force. Trained for the most challenging scenarios, these men and women are the true heroes of this story. Amid the storm, they worked tirelessly to secure the carrier and protect each other. From the engineers in the engine room to the pilots and deckhands securing aircraft, every member of the crew had a vital role to play. The captain, a veteran with years of experience in both combat and navigation, had to make split-second decisions to avoid catastrophe. One of the deckhands described the situation as the most terrifying experience of my life. He recounted how waves as high as buildings smashed against the ship, sending torrents of water across the flight deck. Another sailor spoke of the eerie quiet below deck, where everyone waited, holding their breath as the storm raged above. As the storm reached its peak, it wasn't just the crew that kept the carrier afloat. The ship's advanced technology played a crucial role in withstanding the brutal forces of nature. From its reinforced hull to state-of-the-art stabilization systems, this aircraft carrier was built with survival in mind. One of the most critical systems during the storm was the ship's gyroscopic stabilization technology. These systems help balance the ship, even as the ocean attempts to capsize it. The stabilizers work by counteracting the roll of the waves, keeping the ship as level as possible under extreme conditions. The carrier's hull is made of some of the strongest materials available, designed to withstand both battle and the ravages of the sea. During the storm, the hull was subjected to incredible forces, but its strength held firm, preventing catastrophic flooding. Another vital tool was the ship's advanced weather prediction and radar systems, which allowed the crew to track the storm's movements in real time. This technology gave the captain the information needed to navigate the ship away from the storm's worst dangers. As the storm finally began to weaken, the crew emerged from their stations to assess the damage. While the carrier itself had survived, it wasn't unscathed. The storm had left its mark with damage to aircraft, equipment, and parts of the flight deck. Helicopters were dispatched to survey the damage from above, while teams worked around the clock to secure the ship. The aircraft that had been tied down on the flight deck had taken a beating, with several jets suffering significant damage. One helicopter had been ripped from its moorings and nearly thrown overboard by the force of the wind. But thanks to the quick thinking and professionalism of the crew, the damage was contained. The ship's structural integrity remained intact, and after hours of hard work, the carrier was once again operational. The storm may have tested the limits of the world's largest aircraft carrier, but it also highlighted its critical role in modern naval warfare. Aircraft carriers like this one are more than just floating air bases, they're symbols of power, control, and dominance on the high seas. From providing air support in combat zones to delivering humanitarian aid during natural disasters, aircraft carriers are the backbone of the U.S. Navy's global reach. They allow nations to project power anywhere in the world, and in times of crisis, they serve as mobile command centers for military operations. Even in the face of nature's fury, this carrier proved its worth. It demonstrated that with the right technology, training, and leadership, these ships can overcome almost any challenge, whether it comes from an enemy force or the unpredictable power of the ocean. In the end, the storm that struck the world's largest aircraft carrier was a test of both technology and human resilience. Despite facing one of the most powerful natural forces on Earth, the crew and the ship emerged victorious. This is a testament to the skill of the sailors, the ingenuity of the engineers, and the indomitable spirit of the U.S. Navy, but the story doesn't end here. As climate change increases the frequency of extreme weather events, the challenges faced by ships like this one will only grow. Will the next generation of aircraft carriers be ready for what's coming? If you found this video as thrilling as we did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let us know in the comments, what do you think the future holds for aircraft carriers? Could the next deadly storm be even more dangerous? Stay tuned for more in-depth stories of technology, survival, and military might.